What are the main differences between Eastern and Western communication context and norms? As professionals of communication, especially human communication, to develop theories in the field of human communication and also develop some programs, teaching programs and professional programs, we have to consider the main differences between two major and main parts of human communication, which are liberal and low context Western norms of communication, and collectivistic and high context norms of Eastern norms and systems of human communication. We have to know that as individuals and as professionals, world is full of societies and cultures, but some societies and cultures, besides their differences, have some similarities between them. But some cultures and societies, they have very deep and key differences, as the Western liberal culture and also the Eastern collectivistic cultures have key and fundamental differences. That's why when we consider the process of human communication, when we conduct academic studies or develop theories or do different main academic or professional activities in the field of human communication, we have to consider such differences. Actually, differences are not bad. Differences, we have to acknowledge the differences, but we have to know the differences. We have to know that we may not be able to use the same rules and the same standards in all cultural contexts and communication contexts. That's why to be happy in different cultural environments and to conduct helpful and successful communication, and also develop helpful theories and professional context, we have to professional texts, we have to consider the differences between two main contexts. There are some main differences between the Eastern and Western context of communication. The first one is the main differences between two cultures. One is liberal cultures, which Western culture is an individualistic and liberal culture, and most of communication norms and standards actually developed based on the liberal and individualistic culture. In Eastern countries, in Eastern cultures, there are collectivistic cultures. And also the second main difference is based on communication context or the way of transformation of message. Actually, in Western countries, they use low context of communication. When we say low context, this means that they mostly try to send messages directly without any extra information. But in the Eastern countries, in the Eastern cultures, people try to transfer messages, especially some demands and serious messages indirectly, and they use high context of communication. It means that they cover the main message with different messages and information and transfer indirectly their messages. And the third main difference is the effects of gender and age in the process of communications, because in the Eastern culture, in Eastern countries, gender and age affect the process of communication. People consider much gender and age. But in the Western cultures, in the individualistic cultures, and also among the people who use low context of communication, gender and age do not affect, or maybe have very small and little effects. And last and very important effect is the process of receiving and sending messages, and also consideration of the demands. In Eastern countries, in Eastern cultures, people try to send messages indirectly, and they consider their social face and they prefer their social face mostly, and also they when they try to do something, they consider their relationships with other people, and also the views and points of views of their family members, and the people who who have relationships with them, and also they prefer their social face most of the time. But in the Western countries, in the individualistic cultures, they do not care of that much and their social face, but actually they prefer their individual face, and also they try to achieve their individual goals. It's mean that the mentioned important differences are the main key differences between the Eastern collectivistic standards and norms of communication, and also Western liberal culture, and also individualistic culture of and also system and standards of human communication. When we try to develop some courses and also theories, and want to interact with different people, we have to consider the mentioned differences, because such differences affect the process of our communication. I am Dr. Abdul Qahar Sarwari, professional of human communication and humanities technology. If you think such videos are helpful for you, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.